נפתלי, אתה איתנו?
כן.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Nir, and this is the last lecture that we have in this meetings. Today we have Naphtali Avraham, is the CEO of our center. And Naphtali, please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening. We are here now evening, so I don't know where we are now. Or Tzaharaim Tovim, good evening. I don't know if where are you now. So my name is Naphtali. If you didn't hear me, please sign for me, okay? Today, I'm going to tell you about my story. From that, I lived my family in 1983 up to now. Some of the point in my life. So please, I share some slides. So. Okay, this is my roadmap in my life. My village, a letter, boarding of Sudan, something in a refugee camp in Sudan, airport, and something about the car and this animal that you see. All of this is have a meaning, a big meaning in my life. So I will show you these things. Just a minute, where is my slide here? No? Okay. My village. Today I get this picture from my friend. He sent me. This is Kes Sahalu. He was one of the teachers that learned me how to be Kes. Kes is like a rabbi. So I born in 1968. For parents, my father was a farmer, and my mother is in aid of her being of mother, and she worked in pottery. Our community was very, very cohesive community. We are very closing. We are doing everything there together and keep the community very, very strongly because of the surround that people who live around us are not a Jew. So it was, we must be united to keep our community. In our village, there was a Jewish school. The old established the school when I was 77 years old. This is the first time that I went to school. The life in a village was surrounded by the Christian village. And the life with them, it is sometimes okay, it is good, sometimes it is very difficult. But most of the time it was okay, and we had a good situation of neighborhood. I was very stubborn boy that did what I want to do. Even my parents said no, I did everything that I want. So it is influence the next life of mine. After I finished the study in my school, in a Jewish school in Ateye, I went to a public school, and there I learned up to 8th grade. And at this point, my life is changing. The letter. The letter arrived from Jerusalem. Every Saturday, the whole adults people coming in our house, and they are like a kiddush in a Shabbat, and they are talking about the life. There is no work because it is Shabbat, and the children is playing soccer or football near the house. And one day, one of the adults came with a letter on his hand, and he said, we played football, and I ran to bring the ball to the field, and he said, okay, can you read please this letter? And I read the letter. So in this letter, there is some information that took me. The information that there is the ability or the way to arrive in Jerusalem in Sudan. At the start of that time, I didn't meaning for this information, but after a day, I thinking about this information and said, okay, there is an opportunity to arrive to Israel, Jerusalem, not Israel, and you have, I was very, very motivated to do this, to learn this information more and more. What that mean? After a week, I came to told my parents I want to run away to Sudan in order to get to Jerusalem. My mother said, I understand that you are bored. My mother said, so another one of your nonsense thing is truly they are not taking my words seriously. Shortly, you have much time to take care of, please help your father in agriculture work, etc. So I was very nervous from this, and they don't listen or take my words seriously. And said again and again, they are not willing to listen to me. The next statement is, when now I am a father and 3 children. They are, as if one of my children was saying this sentence, I don't know what I am going to do. One of the morning, it was every morning, my parents sitting, they drink a coffee and eating their breakfast. It was their time. No one is disturbing them. I came in this situation at the morning, and I said that if you're not allowed to me run away to Sudan, one day you will get up in the morning and you didn't see me at bed. I don't know why I said it. I didn't know how much, what does that mean to run away to Sudan? But this was one of my decision that I will do this Eid Matara, how say the Matara in Hebrew? Matara.
Oh, your goal.
Goal, yeah, your goal, okay. This is my goal and I'm going to do that. Something strange here, no? Why 13 years old of boy makes so critical decision and run away to Sudan? You have any idea?
Do you want people to ask questions or offer ideas based on your question? Or you want participation on that?
No, I ask you, do you have anyone who has this idea? Maybe help me to improve my lecture.
Did you know anything about Jerusalem before that letter came?
Yes, I do.
And did you go with anybody else?
No, because the only information that I have get is this letter that arrived in our village and I read it. Yes, but Monash, yes.
So it sounds like you had a dream, but you didn't know what the dream was really about, but you wanted to make it happen.
Okay. Is there somebody to add something else?
What was your dream? You had a goal to go, but you didn't know where you were going. Did you know why? Did you actually know why?
I know that from the letter and, okay, from the life in our village, there is the atmosphere that which I grow. Brainwashing, שטיפת מוח, it is okay? שטיפת מוח אומרים brainwashing? Brainwashing, the person who is talk us every year that in the next year we are in Jerusalem, and the longing and dreaming, we get this fear story about Jerusalem. Everything in our talking is Jerusalem was in the center of our life. This is the Jew, our parents, the community, every Jew in our village. In other side, there is a Christian, our neighbors. Jew don't here belong here. You are not belong here. You are like a refugee. You are coming from your country, so you must go your home. And all anti-Semitic phenomena, like all a Jew, these two power is together bring me to the next sentence. I told for myself, I am a little boy, 13 and a half years old, going to realize the dream of my generation of grandfathers to come to Jerusalem. So at this time and in this situation, there no force that could stop me from doing it. And this is the reason that I am decide. I don't know the difficulties. I don't know how much it's a danger, but I am decided. The atmosphere was, as you see in this situation. I will prepare. I am 13 years old. I didn't run away alone. So I am going to collect some children from 18 and a half up to 18 years old, 6 girls and 4 boys, and some dry food because we want to prepare dry food in order to, keep it and take it on our by hand. And most of the time we prepare many money to the journey, and even we thought about the robbers, because we also prepare some money for them and then put in our pocket, because if some robbers come and stop you on the journey, you must give him money. So you haven't, anyway, there is no way that you hadn't money. So we sum some money for robbers in order to keep the main money that we hidden in our pockets or everywhere. And one of the things that before I get out from my house, I looked my parents, and they looked at me, and we said, without word, we said, this is our last time, our last time that we see each other. I was sure, absolutely, that this is, the last time that I see my parents. Still, I decided, even if this situation, to continue in my program to run away from Ethiopia to Sudan and to arrive in Jerusalem. The journey, 5 days, we went at night, and we hide ourselves in jungle, because the regime of Mengistu, it is very, very difficult to go on day, because if you are went or run away to any country, the regimes think that you are against the country, and the punishment is very, very high. So the 5 days, the first 5 days, we went on foot only by the only at the night. After 4 days, after 5 days, we went to the center of the jungle between Sudan and our village, and there told us the guide that we rent to see us the way to Sudan. He said the border of Sudan is closed for refugees, so you can't continue in this journey in order to arrive to Sudan. So if he was said that this information before 5 days, we will still stay at the home, and we find another opportunity to continue the journey. But now we can't back to go home, because it is very difficult and it's very dangerous. And we stayed there for 4 months. We haven't food, we haven't house. We stayed near his home, and this is some sukkah, like a sukkot, and stayed there for 4 months. Sometimes the Air Force of Mengistu is coming and is bombing this surrounding, because the people who lived there, they were against the regime, and they was fighting each other. So that it was very, very difficult. After 4 months, we continue to Sudan in hope that will be okay. No one is know what happened there, and we continue to go to Sudan. After 3 weeks of journey, day and night, we arrived in a border of Sudan. Our physical and mental condition was very, very difficult because we are, this is a half year of difficulty from the time that we leave our family. It was very, very hard. In border of Sudan, there's a river that is divided. This is a border, a river that in this side it is Ethiopian, in another side is Sudan, and from the border, 500 meters from the border, there was the Sudan's military camp. So we stay in the side of Ethiopia, but near the river, up to we get the permission to enter as a refuge in Sudan. So now we must keep our identity of we are not a Jew. My family name is Avraham, so I changed my name. We had every symbol that describes us a Jew. We remove, throw, or burn it. So now we are, the situation is very, very hard. So in this, there was another refugee that arrived before us, and they told us the story that every night the Sudanese soldier come to this small camp of the refugee, and they want to kidnap, לחטוף, kidnap the girls, to take.
Ken, kidnap, likhtov, Ken, kidnap.
Kidnap the girls, and you know, after they take them, you know what happens there. So they, who is the girl? They are 13 years old, 14 years old. The biggest girl was 16 years old. So everyone feels that it's very, very difficult and dangerous. And we decided how we deal with this condition. And we said, okay, we married, each one is married in one of the girls, and there is 2 girls, 6 girls and 4 boys, and 2 girls that stay without husband. We said, okay, one is ill, she has every disease that you can describe, and she wants to go to the hospital of the United Nations, the refugee camp. There's a hospital, so she is ill. And the another, I don't know why we said she is a Muslim. Every day, every night that the soldier is coming, called the woman of the Muslim woman, and she was sitting one of a stone beside, and no one is touched them. No one. But the another girls that they come with us was fighting with us in order to deny the kidnap, and they do terrible things for the girls. After 4 nights, that every night they came and we are flooding, they hit us. Shortly, the situation was terrible there. And we said, okay, if this is a situation, we are go back to Ethiopia. We know that we didn't finish this journey again because it was very hot. There is no water. We didn't know where is water. We haven't food. But the situation was so hard. We haven't any other decision more suitable. So the Sudanese soldiers, they come behind us, and one of the Sudanese soldiers ran and come to us and said, please stop. We want to, and you can't go back to your camp there. And we said, okay, we turn to our camp in 2 situations. One, tomorrow you permit to us enter as a refuge to Sudan. And in this night, you didn't do anything. What did you do in other nights that to kidnap the girls? And they are agree. You know, the war between Goliath and David, you know, it is not the situation that, but they are agree without, you know, without saying something. I said here sometimes how much power, yes, for your mention, for your things that you are really want to be, because we have a very, very big goal to arrive in Jerusalem, and for this, we do what we need, even in this situation. But maybe the goal, the God was there, you know, they coming and they asking, not go, please return to your, the situation is, that is not reasonable. I don't know if it is a word, scars in Tzaleket. I have 2 scars on my leg. It is a symbol of this struggle. You know, I am starting. Excuse me. This is scars, the symbol of life. We gave for the 6 girls that came with us a life. Before 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there was something, you know, not good to see them. But today, I love these scars. This is the indication of life. This scar is the life of the 6 girls. They came to Israel. They built family. And before 3 years ago, I went to wedding, and I meet them, one of the girl, and she had 5 children, 3 of the children in the army. You know, so 36 years pass at this time, and still it is very painful, because I see the situation now happening online. At the morning, the Sudanese bring some trucks on the near the base that we were still there, and they take us to Gadarif. Gadarif is one of the city, a big city around the. It is something 90 kilometers from the border. And we start another life. This is a refuge in Sudan called Toaba. This is half of, maybe quarter of the refuge. It is a big, you know, I was a children, so I didn't see everything. Yeah, you see it is very bigger than. There is, in this refuge, there are the hungers, there was violence, disease, and we must hit very hardly our Judaism. You know, one day I see my friend is a Christian. He came from, he didn't live near our village, but he was in the school, and we know each other. 2 weeks I didn't get out from this house. It is not house really, because I'm afraid that he will be response me for the Sudanese soldier or other people that I am a Jew. So the situation was very, very hard. And maybe this is a time to say, in this journey, at about 4,000 Jewish Ethiopian Jews killed there in this refuge in Sudan. So there is no family that not pain and about the. This is the price that we put, and the community is. There was a day that we will go. You know, how said it? Cemetery, Kever? The cemetery, no?
Cemetery, yes.
Cemetery, there is no cemetery, you know, we are going to put them and some stones around them. But it was very, very, very difficult. So one day, told us the Ethiopian guy that is working with the Mossad, and said there is we must collect every Jew from this refuge center to the city, and the prefer of the city, there is 2 houses, and collect the whole Jewish from this refuge center, And in 4th March in 1984, there was operation called Dardas Kahol, and we pick up by the Hercules from the center of desert, and we arrived here to Israel. You have a question?
Naphtali, I think if you want to finish the presentation in the next 5 minutes or so, and then we can open up to questions from everyone, that might be a great way to do it.
Okay, so
Thank
I
you.
continue. The first day in the life in Israel, I landed in airport 7 a.m. What is the first thing that I did? It is a very, very easy question. You can answer about it.
You probably kissed the ground.
No, this is usually answer. It is not.
You asked for food. I don't know. What was the first thing you did? Can't imagine.
Can imagine. It is a very, said it is, if you add the whole time, the journey, I stay in the jungle 4 months, and 8 months that I was in a refuge center. It is together is 1 year and a month, and some hours and some seconds, because every time it was very, very critical. So on this time, I am not thinking about my family, not asking what happened there. When I arrived here and the danger is past, I missing my family, not the goal that I want to arrive to Jerusalem, not everything, another everything. I am here, see behind us, and I'm alone here without my family. It was very, very, I missed them. This is bringing me that, missing in Sudan, it was privilege. It is not a life. Yeah, you are worrying how to keep yourself on the on the water. Your must be your head is outside of the water, and to keep your life every second. So when I arrived here in airport, no, this it's Shamir and David Levy, the foreign minister. They came and handed me. No, it does not make me any sense. I didn't missing my family. 3 hours after, we was in some camp of the army. I was Fantahun. This is my origin name. And I am Naphtali. They changed my name. This is a very, special situation. I said that the worker of the Schonot HaYehudit, the Jewish agency that meet us, take in one side the name of the Bible, the name that is in a Bible. They started Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and then the children, and the nephew, and then in other side, there was Ethiopian immigration, they arrived at this time. The first was Abraham, the second is Yaakov, the third is the second is Yaakov, and the third is Yaakov and etc. I stand, what is it was? Naphtali. And we have some reason, good reason. Maybe it is improved for me, our lectures. I don't know the idea why from Fantahun I be Naphtali. And 12 hours after that, we arrived at the observation center in Safat. This is the first observation center they opened there. And in September of the same year, I went to be a boarding school because my family was not here, and I got to Yemin Ort. So in 1988, I graduated my high school there, and my parents were still in Ethiopia. Here, I must tell you that one of the, first of all, somebody told for my family that I killed by the journey. So my father said, I didn't sitting Shiva. If somebody is coming and told me, he see that I killed. And after 3 years, it was very difficult to send not email to Ethiopia. So a letter to Ethiopia. So I was sent a letter to United States, and somebody from United States sent to Ethiopia, and most of the time, 50% of my letter is arrived, another isn't. I was waiting for a letter from them. Every day I went to see the mailbox there to see if there is a letter. One day it is arrived. I put the letter in my pocket for 3 weeks. I'm afraid to open it because I didn't want to do what happened there. And one day that I decided to open this and go to the forest, so nobody see me. And then I open and read. Sometimes there's a good information, but sometimes no. One of the days that is told me in this letter that my grandmother is dead. So a situation that it was very, very difficult to be here alone and see some information. The information is, it is not a cure. So it is very, very hard. One thing that I told me in this boarding school is where, at the mid of the week, there is more than 500 children. We are going to play football. We are going to study together. There's a life, full life in this village. But on Friday, at 10 o'clock, they are coming 2 buses, most of the bus, 2 or 3 or 4 buses. They took the whole children there. And who was still in a village where 4 children that without family is staying in this big village. And it was very, very hard. It is to me. I find the solution for this feeling. I said, okay, today I am doing like all students. They are coming, I'm coming. They're coming and they order their bags to home. I coming and order my bags to home. And they went to the bus. I went to the bus. And the bus is driving to Haifa. It was near Haifa. And then I go to the another bus station and I take another bus to the village because I want to feel something normal. The situation that living with there, it is not normal. So this solution is, it is not comfortable to me because it takes some money for me. So I haven't money and I must choose another solution. So I said, okay, maybe when they are coming and prepare to go home, I am sitting in one place and then writing the story of the story of the journey. So I am writing maybe in this year or next year, I finish my book. And all of the date, tarikh, how say tarikh, date, the date on my book is only Friday because I write on Friday each of the stories that I had and I did in this journey. Maybe this is the situation how be, alone without your parents. And even this was my home, and I didn't know another home. The boarding school was for me like home. And in 1988, when I finished the high school, and now I stay without house, no house. My parents is still in Ethiopia. That's what I do. So I was recruited to the army and I asked the permission to learn before I went to the army and they permitted to me. I sent each university the whole register, the whole faculty, because I didn't know. I learned electricity and chemistry in high school, but I just to the social work and everything, education, because I didn't know what's the difference between this field. No one is guided me. So I did what I think that's okay. And in one of the university, they accept me to economy study. I am very, very glad, not because of that I accepted to this faculty, because of I have a place, dormitory, that I can put my head there, and what I have, the two bags that I am surrounding in Israel. This is the whole thing that I have. But after 2 weeks, I said, okay, I learned electricity, mechanics, chemistry, each of the science. So what I'm doing in this faculty? And then I ran to the department of the registers and I said, how I am to be engineer. And she said to me, okay, yes, there is one way. You go to the preparation study for 3 months and some examination in mathematics, physics, and English. You know, I have 5 units physics and the rank was 100 and it was my field. So I said, okay, I go to study the preparation school, but there was some interview. One of the in this department of the preparation school, there was the professor who is the manager of this department, and he invited me to interview. Now, one by one. His assistants called me, Naphtali, please enter to the professor. Enter, and I see there is very beautiful tableau, and the professor sitting on the comfortable chair, and he moved forward and backward, and he said, I asked Naphtali Avraham. I said, I am Naphtali Avraham. No, he said, you are not understand. I want Naphtali Avraham. I said, as I should, I am Naphtali Avraham. I am still standing. I am not sitting. And I see my bagrut, I have said, is the rank of my high school that on his table. He didn't see about the rank and he asked me. The next sentence was, he said, it will be difficult for you to study here. And I said, I am not find easy life. As you know, here, the interview is finished. I get out from his office, and the assistants ask me if I have a fax number. Where is I have a fax number? I haven't any place to stay my hand and my head. And she asked me if I have a fax, but I remember the fax of the boarding school, and I give her. I understand absolutely. This is a situation that the name, the acceptable that was in this program. And then I go back to my room and take the 2 bags that I had. And I go to the bus station, take the bus to the boarding school. I meet the 2 friends, they are working in Minor, and I put them in my bag and I ran to the fax. At the fax, where there is some letter, this belongs for me. And this professor said, to Naphtali Avraham, identity number 01149-714. And we deny your acceptable because it will be difficult for you. I ran to my friends. They were at the class and they are working there. And I lay on the room and I said to them, please, you put on me a water. And I see the water is vapor. This was the first time, and that I see the rice, and I feel something wrong happen here. You know, after that, I'm surrounding around the village, and I go to the Dr. Heimper. He is the manager of the boarding school. And I said, hi, how they did it? Why? He said very coolly, we did something more good. And that's Haim, you see what he did. He said the same sentence. And I said, I want to write for this professor a letter. And I'm coming and sitting, and I writing a letter for this professor, to the professor כך וכך. I want to write a letter, and I put my identity number. And the whole letter was, Hayamim Yagidu. Marilla, please help me.
It will know, the days will tell. The days will tell.
Okay.
And Naphtali, okay, go ahead. And we have people have to get off at 11, and there might be a few questions. So, or at
just a minute. I finished 2 minutes and finished. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
So after that, I sent the letter. At the same time, I didn't get the answer from another university. And this is the Technion sent me that acceptable to the mechanic engineering. And I wanted to learn in a Technion. The first rank in chemistry, I get 85. I went to the machine copy, I copy, remark the name of Naphtali, identity number, and sent for this professor. This is for Professor Kabakan, this is Naphtali. Naphtali gets the rank with 5 ranks in chemistry. The first semester I finished, my average was 79.9. And then I go to the copy, machine copy, and I copy and I remark the name and Naphtali and our identity number and send him this letter again, and again. Up to I finished after 4 years. And then I sent really a letter for Professor Kabaka. This is Naphtali. I am missing you because I am going to be in the army, but I wish that you learn something from this condition. So why I did it? Why I did it? You know, I invest so much money that I haven't, but it was very chashuv, I'll say chashuv, important for me to send for this professor. Why I did it? You have an idea why I did it? I have the time, so I go to. I did it because, you know, I don't know how many people before me arrived, and he told us, you didn't do this, and they believe for him. And they go. Maybe they were a very good engineer or other people. But the question that somebody else come after me and he did the same answer, it was unacceptable for me. So every year, you know, every year, So after 3.5 years, he pledged if he won't meet me. At that time, I was very nervous about him. But now today, I was very proud or very important to speak with him. And this is my, I think I finished. So who I am? My name is Naphtali. It is depending who is asked. If you are Israeli or my name, he was for myself. So I am Naphtali Avraham, 52 years old, live in Moshav Yidfat. If identity, I am Israeli, but by the E of the Israeli, I am still immigrant, even I am here 37 years in Israel. Religions, I am a Jew, but if you ask most of Ethiopian, semi-Jew, I'm today living in this, okay, it is not, it doesn't matter. I am immigrant forever in Israel, you know, even I am here 36 or 37 years. A citizen, I am Israeli in my E, but Israeli think that I am Ethiopian. I have 3 children, 27, 24, they are now in university. One of is officer in command unit in the army. And I have a daughter, but she 18 years old. I am engineer, mechanics engineering, and I have second degree in education. I am a major in the army, and now I am a retired of the ADF. This is my, so if you have any question, I can answer. I told something, I have no regrets, אני לא מתחרט. It said, okay?
No regrets.
No regrets. Any point of my life. With all difficulties, I would do it again. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Naphtali. Can you close your screen? And I know we're right at the hour, but if anybody has any questions, now would be a fabulous time to step in and ask. And if not, I just want to thank you, you and Nir and Hatagid for our series and for sharing your story. It's not an easy story to share, obviously, and I think we got a sense of some of the hardships, and it's hard to imagine as a child undergoing what you did. And so here's some questions coming through the chat. Everybody's saying you're an inspiration, and Peter Buxbaum asks, how do you deal with the discrepancies, the differences between your identification, your self-identification, and how the Israelis and Israeli society might view you? Like, is there any disconnect, nituk?
No, there is no disconnect. When you have your identity is pure for you, what you are, there is no disconnect between that. I am a Jew, I am Israeli, I am Ethiopians, Black Jewish. You know, when I was in the United States, some of the Afro-Americans met me at the Museum of Washington, and he said, my kippah, I was in kippah at that time, and he said, what is a piece of this clothes? I said, this is a kippah. There is a Jew, Black Jews. So yes, I said there is Black Jews. So my identity is clear for me. So if there is somebody that my identity is not clear for him, his problem, not mine.
And Betty Ann asks, are you still in touch with the people you left Ethiopia with who were traveling in your group? And I have a question is, did your parents ever make it to Israel?
My parents arrived in 1991 after 10 years. I was 23 years old, and another people. We haven't any connection, you know. I have built my own life here, and they are coming, but they are here, and I earn 27 years of life for my father, and my mother is still in life, and she is 100 years old. So my family is here. And the another question is that if you were meeting, we are meeting in every event or something, and we are calling everything. This is a connection that it is not impossible to disconnect it, because we had passed maybe the whole spectrum of life together. So we are like a brother, maybe more than. We are meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Naphtali. And I think that ended our questions. So I appreciate again the opportunity to learn from you and from the other lecturers, and for us to get a deeper understanding of the stories that that your community represents, and to continue. We want to continue learning.
Thank you very much. I have a very big responsibility to respond this special story of a Jew, not for me, for you, for other Jew people in the world and in Israel. So I wish that we will be succeed because we are working very, very hard in order to establish this heritage center. This is my new goal in the future.
Thank you, Naphtali. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and everyone stay healthy.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.